Hello, my name is Juventino, and I wanted to talk to you about a software that you can use in order to display Windows operating systems on your MacBook or a Mac computer. I have my own tax practice. I've been in practice since 2010, and I've been using TaxACT Professional Editions for the past 7 years. Next year will be my 8th season. My 8th tax season. As you can see, I'm on my MacBook desktop, and if I click on About This Mac, I'm currently running OS 10 Yosemite. That's the highest that this MacBook will go. I purchased it at the 2009. It's got a 2.66 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo processor, so it's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Google Chrome browser and talk about the software that we are going to use. It's named Parallels. So we'll just go to parallels.com, and there it is. So Parallels, it allows you to run your Windows operating system on your Mac, and the current version that we're on right now is 13. I am not running Parallels Desktop 13. I'm still running version 9, I believe. But anyways, you can see and read all about it here. It does cost about $50 to upgrade. Brand new out of the box. I'm not sure how much it is. We might be able to find the price here. Let's see here. Buy now. There's a 14-day trial that you can try. You do have to have a partition made on your hard drive for your Mac, and what that is basically sectioning off a piece of your Mac hard drive where the operating system is going to be installed. So on mine, I believe I have a 60 gigabyte partition. So right now the Parallels desktop for home and student use is $80 a year. If you already have an old version, you can upgrade for $50. The Pro Edition is $100 a year, and for work settings, it's $100 a year. So I'm not really sure what all the different features do. I believe I just have the home and student use, and it does everything that I need it to do. So if you want to put it on a number of different Macs, you can go ahead and select that and basically multiply that by the number of licenses. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and I'm going to go ahead and start up Parallels by looking for it on my search bar, and here it is. I'm going to go ahead and double click on it, and it launches. It automatically recognizes that it's a Windows operating system that was installed on that partition. You can see here, you can give it whatever name you want. I named it Windows 7 DreamSpark. If I go to the file, and I can have a number of different options that I can choose. I can clone it, I can create a new clone, or do a template. And basically cloning is just creating another version of that Windows operating system. I know it's a little bit difficult to understand because we're so used to just starting the computer, and that's the operating system that it boots into. In the Parallel desktop menu bar, tells you, let's see what version I have. So I have desktop 10. So I'm about 3 versions behind, and obviously I can go there and update. But it still works just as fine. And so I'm going to go ahead and launch it. All you have to do, actually there's settings here. If we click on the settings, I can rename it. As you can see, I have a 52.2 gigabyte hard drive partition, and I can reclaim some of this hard drive space by basically running different types of tools that will compress the files. But anyways, let's go ahead and click on the power button, and this will essentially turn on my Windows computer. And as you can see, it just goes into full screen mode, And what it's doing right now, it's initializing the Windows operating system. And so right now it looks like what it would look like if you had just turned on your regular Windows computer. So if you had like an HP or a Dell or any one of those Windows-based computers, this is what it would look like. So one of the things that people have asked is, how do I get my TaxACT Professional Edition software to run on my MacBook Pro? And I know there's an online version, but I don't think the online version was really designed for tax professionals. I think that was primarily designed for the end users, the ones that do do-it-yourself tax preparers. So as you can see now, my Windows desktop is started. It took probably less than a minute or so to get booted up, and as you can see, I have all my Microsoft applications. I still have the desktop links for TaxACT 2015, and here's the one for up at the top for TaxACT 2016. So if I click on the Start menu, you can see at the top that I have the TaxACT 2016 Professional Edition. One of the new things that happened, I believe it started with the 2016 edition. It may have done with 2015, I can't remember exactly, but TaxACT decided in their interpretation of some of the IRS policies that I don't really specifically agree with, decided to go to an online server that authenticates users. So they did this in the name of security and I think a little bit of fear that was happening with a lot of the security breaches we've been hearing about in the news. But there was a lot of people, including myself, that wrote to customer service and complained that that wasn't really going to be an option. One of the strong suits of TaxACT, I've always believed, is that I considered it to be an offline option, so it doesn't have to be online. And for those folks that aren't ready to go online, or maybe they live in a remote part of the United States that doesn't get good internet service, or maybe rely on satellite service even for their internet provider, TaxACT is a wonderful option because they have both an online and offline status for logging into their software. So basically here I would just type in my username and my password and I can sign in, and that would basically launch the 2016 version of TaxACT, which was for this 2017 season. I'm not going to go ahead and log in because there's a lot of personal identifiable information that I have my clients there, and so anyways, but this is where you would come, and it's TaxACT is running. There is an offline version, like I said. If I were to go ahead and disconnect myself from the internet in here and turn off my Wi-Fi, basically it would just cut me off from the internet, and I would still be able to log in without a problem. It would just appear in offline mode. You would see an offline status in this window. But anyways, that's all it is to it. This is now a full-fledged Windows operating system. If you look in here and I go to all programs, I have Microsoft Excel, all the same normal programs that you would have on your Windows computer can be installed right on here. So anything that's native to the Windows operating system, you can install in here. Again, you just have to have enough hard drive space, and that's all done in the initial setup when you set up your desktop parallels setup. One of the other things I want to mention real quick is at the bottom, if I move my mouse to the bottom, it brings up my Mac program bar. So you can see on here I have all the Mac programs, and if I were to go back to the there's my Microsoft Excel is starting up because I clicked on it. But I can go in here and click on Google Chrome, and that'll basically take me back to my Mac desktop. Same thing if I swipe to the right with on my magic mouse, it brings me over to my Windows desktop. So I can go swipe to the left and be on my Mac. swipe to the right and be on the Windows. So it's very neat. So like let's say you have all your files on your Mac hard drive, you can get that to here. One of the things that I use for my practice is I use the Google Drive. And so I go Google for Business, and it's got the same 256-bit bank level encryption. So that's what I use for my repository for the drives, and I have a special website where my clients go and upload their files. And so if I click on the Google Drive, I just downloaded the applet, and then I can see here all my file structure for the different things in all my different folders, for my tax practice. So that's pretty much it. It's taken a little while longer to load Excel because I have this bolt-on program that's called Crystal Ball, and Crystal Ball just allows you to run different types of ratio analysis and different kinds of tornado analysis and different statistical analysis for different types of spreadsheets. And so as you can see, this is a full-fledged version of Microsoft Excel, and any Windows software that you buy you can install right in here. And so if you have your CDs laying around from your old computer or whatever, you can go ahead and install them right in this version of Windows, and it will work just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and close Microsoft Excel, and that pretty much does it for my presentation. The only one last thing I'll do is I'll just go ahead and click on the Start menu, and I can go ahead and go into hibernate mode. I can go to sleep mode, same thing as you would in regular Windows, or I can just shut it down. Shutting down Windows will terminate the session of Windows that you're currently using, and it will just go back to the Mac desktop. So if you have any other questions regarding installing the desktop parallels, it's very easy to install. Setting up the partition on your hard drive, you just have to have enough hard drive space. I would recommend don't go anything lower than 50 gigabytes, just because the Windows 7 or Windows 10 operating system is a pretty large operating system, so you're going to right off the back eat up about 10 gigs of hard drive space. So if you're feeling a little adventurous and you think this is a route you want to go, again, it's going to cost you about $100 a year if you do the licensing, but that could be written off on your Schedule C if you're a Schedule C filer, or you can just write it off on your business tax return. So I'll just go ahead and quit, and then that quits that version of Windows 7 that we're in, and now it goes back to the Parallels Desktop Control Center, and we can just quit from there. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at tino@jgtaxpro.com. And real quick, I'll just go to my website, and there it is, so you can see it. That's my business right there, and then you can just click on the Contact Us button, bring you down, and there's my email address right there, phone number, and my hours. So if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you for watching.